So, Doug, I've been always wondering, what is a typical day in the life of Doug Baker Jr. like?
Huh. Well, I don't know if there is any more a typical day. They're all different, which is part of the thrill of the job. But look, it's balancing a number of things. Certainly, if I'm in the office, it's often catching up because I'm on the road quite a bit. It's a series of meetings, right? You try to balance, make sure you're focused on the business as opposed to the administrative stuff. But I would also say I work very hard to make sure I can get some time with the family and build the rest of it around that schedule. So it's a combination of things.
Yeah, I'm often curious about how people manage their work-life balance. I think everybody faces that challenge. How do you manage that? How do you make sure you don't have the BlackBerry going all times during the night,
Yeah.
or do you?
No, I don't. I'm an addict when it's in my hand, and so clearly there's a point in night where I just turn it off and put it away. If they really need me, they have the home phone. They will be very reluctant to use it. It will be a true emergency. So I think the balance, I'll steal a line I heard from somebody else talking this issue not that long ago, and he really said maybe the word ought to be harmony. And I probably buy into that. So certainly life is never really in balance, meaning complete balance with family, other things you'd like to do out of work and work. I work hard. With that said, I think the harmony part is I love what I do. I'm happy as a result of doing what I do. I'm probably a better father, husband, and frankly, friend because I'm happy. So I think you've got to look at this probably a little in a more different way than just simply this. How much time do I spend where? Are you happy doing? Are you fulfilled doing what you're doing, et cetera?
When you look back at Ecolab over the years, what was the one point in time that you were just amazed at how happy you were? It was like the most enjoyable moment you've had with the company so far.
Well, I would say if I went back and looked at some highlights, there was a point in my career where I was running a business where McDonald's was 2/3 of the sales. And 2 weeks after I had gotten there, which is right after we acquired this business, we were told we were going to lose half the business. We spent 4 years working to secure that business and make sure that we didn't lose any. And I will remember to this day the phone call at Friday at 4:30, which I would tell you is usually always bad news, that we got the call from McDonald's saying that we had actually won, we were going to continue to be sole supplier. So I would say that was a huge highlight because it had such implications for everybody who worked at that company. So my highlights would be around those areas. And so I think it's the success with teams, success with customers who you're trying to help, et cetera, as I look back, the things that I remember most.
Since then, what's been your biggest challenge? What was the biggest challenge, the point in time where it's like, man, this is a really big challenge, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I think certainly economically we've been in what I would call trying times the last few years. So, as we were leaving 2008 and entering 2009, it was very difficult for anybody running a business to understand what was in front of us. And so certainly we ran, what do you want to call it, financial models trying to understand how bad could bad be and what were the implications on us. So I'd say running at that time in what I would call the fog of war was quite trying because you had a lot of people counting on you to get it right. I think we ultimately got most of it right as we went through this, but that was a very, very difficult piece.
And then acquiring companies is challenging. So how are things going with the acquisition?
Well, I mean, it's, we announced literally a year ago that we were going to acquire Nalco. We have now owned it for 7 months. I would say 7 months in, we're doing quite well. I would also point out, which I do internally frequently, that it's 7 months. Mm-hmm. And so the integration process and bringing the companies together is a couple-year process. Mm-hmm. And while you want a good start, and we've had a good start, it by no means dictates a great finish. And so we are still, I think, watchful and making sure that we do the right things. But so far, we're quite pleased with what's gone on.
Sometimes with our event, Hall of Fame, Lifetime Achievement, I feel like I should ask people, what's next? Are you going to Disney World? But, what's next for you? What do you want to do now as you look out 5 to 10 years? What do you want to accomplish?
Well, I mean, this is the funny part about the Hall of Fame. I'm relatively young, so what am I going to do the next 5, 10 years? I've got a lot of time left that I'm going to apply towards Ecolab. And there's a lot that we want to accomplish. I would say, personally and it's professionally, we are striving to live up to our potential. And the potential for Ecolab is still quite significant. I want to work with the team and make sure that we realize that. So that would be priority number one. What happens after Ecolab? I have probably breaking the rules that people try to push on you, which is I am not thinking about it. Right? I'll worry about that when the time's closer. It's not close right now. Right? Focus on integration, focus on the business. World's challenging enough. And, I'm having a blast. So it's a lot of fun still.
Oh, great. Anything I should have asked you that I didn't?
No. But I will say thank you very much for the recognition. It's appreciated.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Great.